What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. One Piece 441. Luffy has miraculously recovered from his 72-hour recovery window, which I think he got done in like a day or even less than that. I have time today. Didn't have time with last episode, but we have time to talk about, the whole Luffy issue that we have going on. Especially because now, I don't even know what we just uploaded. I'm like 12 episodes ahead between Patreon and YouTube. But I see that YouTube is now up to the point where I've started to talk about Luffy and like what's going on, like why isn't he taking things seriously now that we're here. So I've got time to kind of recap it. We'll just try to talk about it one time, get it out the way so we all know where we stand going forward. Because I've had a lot of people like hit the YouTube comments now that some of those videos are getting there. And I knew that's how it was going to be, of like, well, if you don't enjoy Luffy like this, I don't know if you'll ever really like enjoy his character, and that's just like who he is and XYZ and yada yada yada. And I knew that was going to come. I think we talked about that throughout this arc. I don't know, we've been talking about it every episode, so which episode specifically? But my issue is like, characters are always going to be like that in every, show. We could go from Deku is always going to be like an emotional crying mess. Goku is never going to take things or fight seriously, or he's always going to test things out. Naruto is always going to want to chase around Sakura and eat ramen and do these things like that's in Jiraiya is going to be pervy, and those are going to be like their core character traits. Like that's them at their core. That is why a lot of people like those characters. But I feel like with Luffy specifically, out of like all the characters I've like come across in a lot of anime, I feel like there's a time and a place, and he rarely shows the accurate like attitude with time and place. Now I've had some people in the comments and some people message me say, well, when it's like do or die and push comes to shove, he always comes through. But it's like, I've seen this man be more serious to people he's just met than his flesh and blood brother, by the way. When that man went and one-shotted Bellamy, do you remember how like point blank serious he was? For a man that he just met not even like 48 hours ago, even if that. Do you remember how serious that tone was? How there was no jokes, how there was no kidding around, like he just walked in and handled an issue and like left. And people are like, well, see, that's Luffy, he'll even stand up for people that like he just met. Like when you're his friend, when you're part of the crew, like you're family to him and yada, yada, yada. And I agree with that. We've seen what he's done for Vivi and, all these other people that like don't mean anything to him. But you're telling me this person that probably, I would argue, is probably the most important person that's had the longest connection to him in his life. They've even started showing us the the Kid Ace and Kid Luffy flashback. And this man, Luffy's just out here bullshitting. He is just out here bullshitting. And you know what I really thought was like going to be the switch? Because when it comes to Luffy's crew and his friends, he really doesn't like play around with it. Like he's serious about, like I said, with Vivi and other people that we've just met and the things he did for Nico Robin and Chopper and XYZ, like people and Robin, like people that don't really mean anything or that have little to no relationships with us, that he's willing to, die for. He even stated that, he was going to go out there to look for his crew. He had to find them when he was at Amazon Lily and talking to all of them. He's like, I got to find my crew. This happened. I don't know if they're alive, but if I'm alive, maybe they are. That's my number. Like, I have to find them. He even made a statement that, I don't know what it was exactly, but they did the flashback of like the crew in his head. He's like, guys, you're going to have to wait on me. I have to go get Ace. He was willing to put his crew on the back burner to go save his brother from being murdered, by the way. It's not just like, oh, they're going to put your brother in prison for the rest of his life. He got word that his brother was going to be murdered. Killed. Executed. And he made the mental decision of the things that he's been most loyal to is like his crew, like part of the journey, the Straw Hats, like all that foundation, the journey for the One Piece. He put that to the side to say, like, I have to go save my brother from being killed. And we get here and he's just hanging out, nonchalant, wanting to play games. That looks fun. Oh, my stomach hurts. I'm hungry. Giggling, laughing, haha, blah, blah, blah. And then people are going to say, well, watch when, they're about to execute him or something happens, Luffy's going to show up. But like, it's like besides the point of like, this was supposed to be different, he was supposed to be better, in my opinion. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. And then that pretty much for me, it's pretty much like springboarded forward of like, if Luffy's never going to be locked in and loaded like he was for that Bellamy incident here, given this situation and what's at stake here, it's not just like, oh, they're gonna throw Nico Robin in jail, or they're gonna take over Chopper's Island, or all this type of, or they're gonna beat up Zoro. And he has been sentenced to death by the military, by the Navy, by the world government. And honestly, 90% of this, to me, it seems like he could care less. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If Luffy might be your favorite character, so maybe you have counterpoints to this on why it is. So I can understand if you're, I don't even want to, like, when I say Luffy fanboys, I'm not saying that as like a bad term. That's just the term that comes to mind. Maybe Luffy is your favorite character. Maybe he can do no wrong. But to me, like, I get the core of like, that's their personality of a lot of anime characters. But like when push comes to shove in moments and seriousness, I feel like Luffy takes to like the last minute. And some of it's like, okay, fine, I get it, but not here. Not with this incident, not with this moment. This has knocked him a couple pegs, in my opinion. I mean, he was never my favorite character for sure. But we'll see how it goes. Because again, if this man ends up dying, and like this is how it led up to it, I don't know how he would be more serious. Because what are you gonna do? Show me that now he's serious even more towards his crew now that his brother was killed? I have absolutely no idea. But yeah. And then again, I had a lot of people telling me, because I've been asking questions about like what does the food do to him? Supposedly there's no there's never been clear-cut, concise answers on. I mean, clearly him eating and the food like gives him some kind of like healing factor or redemption or whatever you want to call it to. But supposedly that's never like chopped up or explained. So I guess we just kind of take it at face value of like food to him is like his sensu bean, why and what the reason is, TBD. But we've been rambling for almost 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, I don't understand how this is possible. He recovered in 2 days less time. So do we have an explanation on how? Are we not going to explain how that's possible? I mean, maybe it gets referenced like in 100 episodes or so. Maybe he heals from something else and we get an explanation then, and it flashbacks to this for an explanation. I have absolutely. I was about to say he's got to be fucking pooped, by the way. Bro, he needs to take a nap now. Oh man. Bon boy. And honestly, that ability, hormone changing ability, is absolutely insanity. He's not going to take over the world with it or destroy a nation or a country. He's not like a planet buster or, city level buster or anything like that with that. But that is insanity. Somehow affected our recovery, by the way. Power of friendship. And I had a lot of people commenting on it. He is ride or die number 2, 100%. Of like the friends, the crew. He's number 2 behind Zoro. up until proven otherwise. Isn't that wild how like shitty the rest of the crew is, by the way? People are like, oh, what about Sanji? You know, Sanji would do this, Sanji would do that, Sanji doesn't give three shits, by the way. Replace all these people that we've run into with women, by the way. He'll crumble. His knees will start clacking together. He'll piss down his leg. Won't do a damn thing. Sanji can only be counted on for 50% of encounters because if they're women, then Luffy would just die, by the way. Luffy would have died by poison. That's a damn shame. But he really, like, Bon Clay, Mr. 2 is now the number 2 most ride or die person of the crew. I mean, he's not going to be part of the crew, I wouldn't think, but... Yeah. Oh, this is the one that found us. He's going to walk up there. Already couldn't beat him. Oh, you've wasted too much time. I'm gonna give him one of these knuckle sandwiches. Bro, you couldn't beat Magellan fresh. What the hell is your plan? Oh. This is not gonna go well. I'm about to say, but can't you just get out of there? Like, why do they stay in here? I guess somebody clearly has an ability, because again, it hasn't been explained how they're bringing in all this food and equipment and clothing and XYZ. But clearly you'll have an ability to get out, so why don't you get out? They're getting up-to-date news out there. Oh. Oh. Talking about your dad, no? Wait for it. Give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Wait a second. Give it a second. Let it cook. Let it cook. Let it cook. There it is. I'm just gonna brush out past that. Okay, they did not have to quad replay that either. He has two sons, clearly, if he's here for his brother. And then that Garp is a grandfather is crazy. I totally forgot about his storyline and whatever happens with that. Finally seen him flustered. East Blue. And they instantly flash back to this and them talking about East Blue, probably. He's like, that's the way towards East Blue. Whose voice actor is that? I don't think it's the... And that means his son is going to be executed. Yes, exactly. What would that do? Because there's so many players involved with this. It's like, okay, I was really trying to sit there like, what would Garp choose to do? Would Garp choose family over duty? I never got a clear answer from Garp or his mental state on what he thought of Ace about to be executed. But it doesn't seem like he's going to do anything to get Ace out of this situation. I thought he might. Maybe he still does. I don't know. But what would Dragon do? Would Dragon try to free his son? Would he not intervene? There's a lot of moving parts here that aren't really expanded on or explained. We're mentally going through it. Oh, that's a crazy shot. Interesting, because you got to put a lot of this into consideration here. Yeah. Dragon never crossed my mind about like who could want to do something about this. You know, we had Luffy, and I was really big on Garp. I'm like, what does Garp think about this? Would Garp do anything? Would he help us escape? Would he choose duty over family? And we just got nothing out of that Garp situation. Just left out in the wind. Totally forgot about the dragon angle of it too. Then he just said we're gonna sit, wait, and do nothing, and now all of a sudden we're moving. Why did we just do a crazy crotch shot right there? Yosh. Alright, this is be the only way we get out of here, because Luffy can't. This guy, by the way. What happened to the card? Or are we checking a pulse? Which one? Which one are we doing? Pulse? Card? Pulse? What happened? What happened? He's fine. They don't know this in the story, but we have like 600 episodes to go, and he's the main character, so he's fine. Everybody's fine. We're fine. Everybody relax, okay? Everything's gonna be alright. What about it? Why did he say that? Treatment shortened his life. What can... Energy hormone. Wow. Triple replay. Quad replay. But here's the thing with this, though. Like, he's giving... Like, is it fully restoring him? Or is it just giving them just a little boost? Enough energy for a day. Wow. That's crazy. Because I was just about to say, is this like Kuma level shit? He'll feel it in a couple days. So, because he's going to push his body beyond probably where it should go. But he's going to have so much adrenaline, he won't physically feel it, but he'll physically feel it when it wears off. Because I was going to say, is it like a Kuma situation where he's just like... Kuma's just like slapped out the damage. But he's over here giving you a straight shot. Straight Red Bull, straight to the fucking neck. There's no way you guys are just gonna chalk that up to they got eaten by wolves and just be like, oh, okay. I was about to say, what? Yeah, they'll just get rid of everybody. Oh, was that last episode? We were talking about the other, like, other half to his yin yang that they had to lock up because he's over here just killing prisoners for sport. I feel like we're going to have a lot of that we run into in the military or the Navy. I don't know why I keep saying military. I think 'cause I was watching the new Walking Dead the ones who live shit in the CRM. But with the Navy, I feel like we're gonna run into that a lot, where we've got like people that are just really like truly trying to like uphold the law and do their job. Magellan, Okaji, you know, others, but that have a conscience, you know, actually will do right from wrong, whether it's like benefiting the Navy or not. And you're gonna have others that just sign up for the Navy that are just like true pieces of shit that just abuse that power just because they can, and who's gonna say shit? Celestial dragons. The guy that fired on the civilians back in Robin's flashback. This dude just executing prisoners just because he can. Guys, y'all might need to move. Ooh. Why does he do that to his food? I still don't understand how the poison even affects him, because shouldn't he be like poison incarnate? How does it actually affect him? I don't know. I need to Google that. But I can't Google it because who knows what rabbit hole of spoilers that'll put me on. I just want to Google. Ooh. Just want to Google. How does Magellan get an upset stomach? How does Magellan's poison upset his stomach? Ahuo knows what pictures and images will come up if I start clicking on that. They'll compare people to Magellan. That'll be people 200 episodes from now. It's a mess. It's a mess. Ooh, all 5 Vice Admirals will be here. I keep getting the Vice Admirals and the Admirals confused. I keep thinking Vice is higher, but it's not. Couldn't they just... He said there's no security. I was about to ask, why are they going on foot? Don't they have an ability that lets them like pluck people from their cells? Can they not just show up in Ace's cell, or... I guess not, clearly, as you can see. It's the first time he's shown himself. Yeah, if you don't slap these wolves... Pop, 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 pop. Oh. I don't know what this wink shit is, if that's hockey related or what, but someone needs to investigate that shit. Oh, he just opening doors like that. That's wild that they don't have the teleport ability to just get down there. Giving up his cover like that is crazy. We don't know who the other one is. And he's another missing prisoner. Revolutionary from South Blue. Who's this? Oh. Vice Warden. Now, does he help or does he let them? Alright, I thought he'd maybe let them go so Magellan could look bad. Oh, because I forgot, he had the little pep talk of like, hey, if it looks bad, they'll get rid of all of us. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's him. That indeed do be him. It's been a long episode. We're getting like the full 23-minute experience here. I wish he would have showed up like with that attitude. So like, what do we do? Run it against Magellan again just for him to two-tap us? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the others help us this time? We'll see. Episode's gonna end, so we won't find out here anyway, but I still don't get why. I mean, it would have caused a bunch of commotion. They probably would have seen us on the cams and instantly like yoked us up. Why, once we found out it was just down, Luffy just didn't like wind up a gear 2 or gear 3 and punch straight down? Maybe it breaks in unless the ocean water in and yada yada blah blah. I don't know. I don't know. Look at those two massive giants they have in there. It's a great shot. How many hours? 6! Sheesh. I thought the best shot was when they had Luffy like in the foreground and Ace's face in the back. I'm trying to see if I can even find that. I thought it was somewhere around here, perhaps. I thought it was right here, maybe. Okay, maybe not. Oh, I thought it was here. Oh, it is. Cool, cool, cool. I wish Luffy would have shown up with this type of attitude as soon as we hit the ground running, but we'll see. Some nice build-up stuff. Again, the dragon storyline just completely didn't even get, because we get so what was he on screen for that little bit of time that Garp talked about your dad, like his dad? But we've never like seen him moving or plotting or like, you know how we zoom in on like Goku sometimes dealing with the Navy and the troubles, and then we'll like zoom back out, and they do that a couple times. We've never done that. So that didn't even cross my mind that he would be a player in this, but he could be. And you know, it seems Garp is choosing duty over family, so would the dad just drop everything to try to rescue his son? You know, he's this revolutionary working in the shadows, this, that, and that can rival this, rival that. Would he just drop any? I don't know. You see, Garp isn't. Maybe he's not either, so we'll leave it there and see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,